Hi, everybody. I think I missed a video last week, or did I forget that I already recorded it? It's a mystery. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. But this video is being recorded because I can see the timer, or the timer right there. So, happy pre-election day. Hope you are doing something to mitigate the stress, or maybe you're not anxious or stressed like me. There's a whole lot going on in the world besides a pandemic and election, and all of UWM being a little bit intense right now with asynchronous and what a world. Anyway, so for positive things. Well, no, first I'll talk. Well, it's not negative. First, I'll talk about your group projects, which are due tomorrow. But, as you all know, if you need a little bit more time, completely okay. If your group is a little behind, if you just there's a couple of things that need to be fixed, if you're just plain not done yet, that's okay. Emily says hi. She was hanging out near the radiator because apparently it's warm and cats like warmth. Now she's gonna chill while I talk to you all. I have some music going on in the background. I hope that is not too loud for you all. I just cannot record in dead silence. Probably what I'm supposed to do, but it unnerves me a little bit. Anyway, it's a beautiful. Now she's going to my desk cubby, or cubby in my desk. It's a beautiful blue, crisp fall day here in Wisconsin. Allegedly, this may be the last week of good weather here. It's almost exactly what the meteorologist said this morning. So thanks for that chipperness. But back to our group projects. So we had an extension to November 3rd. And I imagine most of you have gotten a lot done, getting close to finishing up. But if you aren't, please take this as a little more guidance. You should have, as far as a rubric, given how I said in a last video that I'm not a big fan of rubrics, you should have a topic statement. All of this is listed. You could go to the assignments. It's right underneath group project, online collection. Topic statement, a scope statement, statement of standards, collection strategy, and the 10 resources. It's really not that much. And if you decide to do a PowerPoint presentation or some other I don't think people use Prezi as much. It always made me a little like discombobulated. Or some other form of presentation, please make sure to have a narrative, like what I'm doing right now. If I had a slideshow, I would be talking you through it. Just because if you give me just straight slides without any context, I'm going to be very confused. But if you did something else, if you did a website or you did a blog or whatever, you do not need to do any kind. I don't know if I made that clear enough. No need for narration. That is only if you did something like a PowerPoint. Because with a website, I can completely understand because you're writing in full sentences and you get what I'm saying. So I'm looking forward, because I had a question about that, so I wanted to make sure that was clear. So you would just post the link and make sure that I can get that link or access that link. There's a couple times, usually there's a group that I can't get their link to work, and it's usually something completely random, and I'm just like, hey, can't get your link to work, and you all will send me the link, the group will send me the link, and that solves that problem. So so it shouldn't be anything. So either presentation and a la PowerPoint, or a presentation a website or some other medium that is a bit more descriptive. Let's see. So that's the narration side. So the presentation, which is probably the most, maybe not the most time consuming, but I think it's a lot of gears working together, like who's gonna do what, and so it's your final project or your final, not your final project, what was I trying to say? Your final, it's the end of your online collections project. So you want it to look great. And I'm really excited to see what you all come up with the topics. I'm in the dark on most of them. I think I know one because they had a question. Also, the Dublin Core, that is, if you looked at the women's health example, I may need to take this out because I think it just confuses people. Dublin Core is something I'm not entirely an expert at, so I don't feel comfortable putting it into an assignment. But that's from a previous instructor, but the example was so good, I left it in. But I didn't think that students would go the length of Dublin Core. Some have. It's interesting if you want to kind of dive into Dublin Core just to be familiar with it. It's something that's been around for a while, and it used to be a part of this collection, but I didn't really see a real deep need for it. So no Dublin Core. So answered that question, but thank you for asking. But if you already did Dublin Core, that's okay too. If you went above and beyond and did that. So that group projects finish up tomorrow. So I hope you all are probably like, yay! And I'm also grading your thesis statement, outline, and references. So I should be able to turn those over pretty quick because that's a pretty not slim assignment, but it's pretty easy to grade because I just make sure your statement looks good, your outline looks good, you have 20 references. And I'm reinforcing this. Make sure to, even if you decide to scrap all 20 of those references or scrap 5 of them, make sure that in your final paper you have 20 references. You can have more than 20, but 20. 2 need to be scholarly. Way more can be scholarly. If you want all of them to be scholarly, way to go. Or you can do 10 scholarly or some mixture. It's a weird hand movement. You can also use blogs, tweets, websites, personal communication. If that happens to be a part, there is within APA there is a way to cite personal communication. Like if you talk to somebody via Zoom or email or something like that. So there's a plethora. I'm using fancy words, or some of them are fancy today. So I usually have, in my other class, I have an audience. I can be like, any questions? Any questions? But if you have any questions, it could be like, it's like YouTube, just below in the replies. Just ask me or send me an email. I respond to both. That's basically what I'm spending a lot of my time, answering emails from this desk. Let's see, what else do I need to talk about? So I talked about grading is being done, so you should have that soon. Our next assignment will be the intellectual freedom case studies. The case studies are already in the assignment folder. If you go to the assignments tab again, everybody maneuvers around Canvas different ways, so it's kind of fascinating to me. Again, because I'm a nerd. But it's curious to see how you all navigate this site. But there's an intellectual freedom case study essay. It's due November 17th. And if you click that little, obviously the little doc with the little icon, they'll bring up all the case studies. And it's good to have a couple of references. because you are using it to support your essay. It's not exactly an opinion piece, because an opinion piece you need essay, examples, but it's more of a statement of this is a stance, this is my viewpoint, and these are all the references that help support that viewpoint. I hope I didn't permanently confuse everybody, but we have, it says April 17th. I'm going to adjust that because it is incorrect. It should be November 17th. That's just from spring semester. Okay, so take a look at the case studies after you're all done with your group project, or take a break. I know we all need a little bit of break. Because there's a lot going on out there. Please, if you need anything, email me always. I just said email me like 18 times, but it never hurts to add a couple more times. Email me. Let's see, is there anything happening? I slide over, not gracefully. I put the link up during the last video, but I'm involved in this group that does this LAS mental health group. So we try to raise more awareness about mental health needs of librarians, library workers, faculty, LAS faculty, archivists, people who work in museums, anyone underneath the huge umbrella that is LAS, people in IT. We are we're all in it together. But so we do a zine, and now this is the first zine. It's called Reserve and Renew, the LAS Mental Health Zine. You can read. So that's our consistent theme. So this is the second issue. This is the third issue, as it says. And we are doing the fourth issue. So I put up the submission link. This is issue number 4, the plague year. So super appropriate. So in these, people will, I have a couple of short essays in here. So people will write essays, draw illustrations. I have some students who've done it in the past. That's why I always encourage students, because I'm like, yeah, I know those people. Pictures, just tons of things. Stories. Let's see. Some really cool artwork using old cards from the card catalog. Sketches. So, and you can also remain anonymous. You could submit without giving your name. That's perfectly okay. Or you can give your name if you would like. It's really, you're talking about any kind of mental health struggle you've had in the past or currently dealing with, or a chronic illness. Mental illness is a chronic illness. That's the word illness right there, isn't it? So I would love to see some student submissions. I need to work on my submission, but you have until December 31st, and I will remind you several times. And it's very simple. It's a Google form. You just put in a couple of things. You'll get a free copy of the zine. The zine itself is it's a $5 donation. So if you wanted to buy one, the money, we don't get any of the money. We use our own hard-earned money to make these zines. These beautiful colors from my local coffee shop. Not cheap, but we with all the donation, we use all the donations to send to Mental Health First Aid USA, which you might encounter in the library. It's a really great resource. It helps provide training for individuals in the community to help people who are mentally ill or dealing with substance abuse. So I know so many librarians and people who work in libraries or work in a range of libraries, archives, and even broader, that have taken these training courses. I think that's repetitious. These courses to help their community, and what else is the library to do, or any kind of LIS professional wants to help. And this gives you a little bit more background knowledge of mental illness and substance abuse, which unfortunately often coincide. Comorbidity, that is the word of the day. Let's see, I'm trying to think I need to talk about, there's something I'm going to need to say, and I'm going to forget it. But, so talking about something that makes me happy, and I hope you will put down what is making you happy today, or something that you're looking forward to, or something that recently happened that made you happy. I got this book in to the mail today. It's Dark Archives, a librarian's investigation into the science and history of books bound in human skin. That makes me sound really weird, but that's okay. Megan Rosenblum, she's a pretty popular librarian on Twitter, so you can hit her up. I actually am doing a book club with a friend who is also a huge fan of Megan's. So today is our official start of our book club. If you would like to join our book club, please let me know. I'm not even joking. It's pretty slim. So right now during the pandemic, just during this whole period, my reading has slowed. It's hard for me to focus. I don't know if you're having a similar problem. Some people are just inhaling books during the pandemic. I am slowly making my way through books. I just finished Mexican Gothic that I have been reading for what felt like months, but it was a good book, so I was trying to savor it. You know how you put off a book sometimes because you don't want it to end because it's so good and you're so attached to the characters. Anyway, I also received 2 different ARCs, advanced reader copies. We came, we saw, we left. These are both from W.W. Norton. So this is a family gap year. 9 months, 6 continents, 3 teenagers. Should be interesting. This is the only one I'm worried about because it's a little dense. The 5 Wounds by Kirsten Valles. Cure? But looks like she's won a National Book Critics Circle. John Leonard, I do not know who John Leonard is, but he has a prize. So the nice thing about being a librarian is you can get ARCs, especially if you are a book blogger. I'm not a book blogger, but I do post a lot on Instagram about books, and I also am on Library Reads and Goodreads, and so if you write reviews, publishers are going to send you books. I'm really just telling you how to get free books. So like this book, please vote Library Reads by March the 1st. Feels like forever and a day from now, but it'll get here. So trying to figure out what to read because I'm reading a book right now that I'm almost done with. It's a comic by Ali Bosch. She also she wrote one of my favorite books. Do I not have that book? But she's a fantastic artist, and she talks a lot about I'm a drum that just keeps saying mental health and just dealing with the complexities of life, as we all do. But I have to read it now because book club. You gotta read book club. It might be a little bit of a slow book club because both Dylan and I are. This pandemic has slowed us down. Oh, good. So it's 229 pages. Basically almost a novella. So I can get through that. So there's just getting books in the mail is so exciting. I still buy books, but especially now that the library is, I mean, it's not closed. I can get holds, but I'm supporting my fellow library workers by choosing not to use the library at this time during the pandemic. We can go into deep discussion about this, but protect library workers. So they're putting themselves on the line, or you all are. I know some of you are working in libraries or archives or in museums. Anyway, so I'm showing you lots of things. Zines, LAS zines. I'll put something out on the SOAS student listserv, so check that out. And also I'll repost it on when I put this video on. I wish you'd see Emmy Lou. She's right there in the little cubby in my maybe I'll take a picture. But so you get cats and books. This is so cliched librarian, and I don't even work in libraries anymore. I work with future librarians or future LAS scholars or professionals or whatever you would like to call yourselves. So this week's topic, let's visit this week. Thanks to Chris for letting me know that I did not make them public. There's so many little odds and ends, I guess is the best way to say it, about Canvas. Like you can hide some stuff from students until you like I want the discussion to be well thought out, so I can hide things. But I try to make sure the class is all structured well. So let's see. So we're going to be talking about intellectual policy this week, which may sound interesting, or may not sound really, may sound interesting to you, or may not. But it really is. It's another course you can take. It's an elective, but we offer it pretty regularly. It's information policy and also information ethics. Those both kind of work together, and intellectual freedom. So we're Boy Scouts. We're kind of going down the list of everything that works together. I think I need to remember to correct these dates. Yes, so we're getting so close to the end. Next week we're going to talk about critical librarianship, which I love. So fantastic. Okay, well, I think that's all I have for you all. Showed you some books, some zines. If you don't know what a zine is, I'll provide a link. There's already a link to Q's app and also to what is a zine. Make your own zine. Send me a zine. In past classes, I've done pen pal exchange, especially in the spring semester when COVID really hit, and we were already like a third of the way through the course in my in-person class. So we would all exchange letters, just little notes, drawings, things like that. So just a fun way to engage and stay connected. But okay, so I'm signing off. I'll see you all on the discussion board and in my announcement once I get this up on YouTube. And please let me know if there's anything you need, any final questions about the group project. Remember, no doubling core. And if you're a little behind and it's a little later than tomorrow night, it's okay, as long as it's not dramatically like 2 weeks late. But also give me a heads up too if there is something going on, because I know sometimes group projects sometimes there can be an issue. Thankfully in this class I really have very few issues. Everything's, as far as I know, has gone, as far as students have told me, have gone well. Yeah, so books to read, pictures to take of Emmy Lou hanging out in a little cubby, looking so cute. Anyway. I realize how much of a dork I am the more I record myself. Okay. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, late night. Whenever you watch this video, please watch this video. It's pointless to tell you to please watch this video in the video, but I'll write it in the announcements because I do put in information in these. So, and once again, if you would prefer to talk over Zoom or Collaborate Ultra rather than an email, if you have like a deeper discussion or more questions, because sometimes email can go on, and it's just easier to knock it out in a meeting. So we can do that. Just let me know. I'm here for you, and I hope you are taking care of yourselves and others, and vote. If you haven't already voted, my absentee ballot is in. Vote. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.